20 million? Don't make me laugh. My brother's voice dripped with poison, bouncing off the stairwell walls. He leaned lazily against the banister, eyes glittering with scorn, like every step I climbed was carved into his pride. My name is Claire Monroe, I'm 32, and if you believe money buys respect from the ones who raised you, let me be your warning. Success doesn't silence envy, it feeds it. That night, the ink on my contract was still wet, the $20 million deal burning like fire in my bag. My hands shook, not with fear, but with triumph. I imagined hugs, tears, the kind of pride I'd chased my whole life. Instead, when I walked through the door, only silence met me. Not love, not awe, just my brother's smirk. He stepped closer. You'll never be better than me. You just paid for your own fall. His hand landed on my shoulder, cold, merciless. The world tilted, and my body hit the steps, ribs snapping against the wood until the dark swallowed me. I woke to harsh lights, machines humming a cruel lullaby. My father's voice cut through the fog. You deserved it, Claire. Maybe now you'll remember your place. His words hurt more than the broken bones. Days later, the room filled with laughter, their laughter. My family circled my bed like vultures savoring the kill. Their barbed words sank deep, designed to carve me hollow. My chest tightened, but I didn't cry. I turned my head, and the door opened. The shadow that entered drained the blood from my father's face. His scream tore the silence apart. Reality froze mid-motion. My mother's smile died. My brother's sneer faltered. My father's hand shook like it no longer belonged to him. And there he was, tall, calm, unshakable. The man they swore I'd lost forever. The man they thought was gone. Jonathan Hale. My mentor. My protector. The lawyer they dismissed as a relic, who had guided me through every contract, every betrayal. My brother stammered, "You're supposed to be gone." Jonathan's voice cut sharp, velvet over steel. You thought burying truth meant it would never surface. But Claire doesn't bury, she rises. The heart monitor betrayed me, spiking with every word. My family's faces flickered with fear, guilt, and the silent knowledge of what was coming. I remembered every sacrifice, the nights I skipped meals to save for my degree, the jobs they mocked, the endless sneers. And now here I was, $20 million in my bag, bones broken, and Jonathan's fortress of evidence by my side. Claire, my father rasped, his voice shaking, don't think this stranger can save you. Blood is blood. I locked eyes with him, my throat raw but steady. Blood is worthless without loyalty. Jonathan stepped forward, dropping a heavy folder onto the tray with a thud. Pages spilled out, bank accounts, deeds, hidden transfers. Every secret they thought safe now lay in plain sight. My mother gasped, clutching the bed rail. My brother lunged, but Jonathan raised a hand, and the room obeyed his silence. Pain burned through my ribs as I straightened, but I didn't falter. For the first time in my life, the power was mine. Not just money, not just proof, but truth, the kind that could burn their empire to ashes. And in that silence, I whispered a vow only I could hear. This was only the beginning. The folder sat like a grenade between us. My father's fingers twitched to snatch it. My mother's nails dug into her palm. My brother's sneer curdled. He tried to mask his panic with bravado, but his eyes betrayed him. Jonathan slid the top sheet across the tray toward me, steady and deliberate. Claire, this is what they never wanted you to see. Every lie, every stolen dollar, every manipulation, it's all here. My hands shook as I lifted the page. Property deeds in my name from when I was too young to understand. Bank accounts emptied. My college fund gone before I ever touched a classroom. My chest burned. Every sacrifice I thought was poverty had been theft. You did this to me? My voice cracked, not from weakness, but from fury wrapped in disbelief. All those nights you said we couldn't afford groceries, you were stealing my future? My mother whispered. It was for the family. I laughed, bitter and sharp. For the family, or for your favorite child? My eyes cut to my brother. His smirk faltered. Jonathan leaned in, his voice honed like a blade. The law doesn't care about favorites, and neither does the truth. You all drained Claire's earnings, her name, her trust. That ends tonight. My father snapped, rage finally spilling. You think you can destroy us? You're still just a child. Nothing. You wouldn't have a dime if not for us. But the words rang hollow. His grip on me was gone, stripped bare under the hospital lights. My heart raced, not in fear, but in awakening. I turned to Jonathan, steady despite the tears streaking my face. Show me everything. Every page. He nodded, sliding the stack closer. Piece by piece, Claire. Tonight we rebuild your story, not theirs. For the first time in my life, I didn't feel small. I felt unbreakable. Even in a hospital gown, covered in bruises, I was no longer their victim. They had shoved me downstairs, mocked me when I was broken, told me I deserved pain. But now they would learn what I truly deserved. Jonathan straightened, tugging his tie like he was stepping into a courtroom. His words cut the air clean. Let's begin with the simplest truth. Claire's signing bonus, the one you mocked her for, belongs solely to her. Not to manage, not to siphon. She owns it outright. My father scoffed, eyes darting nervously to the page. That money wouldn't exist without us raising her. We're entitled to something. Jonathan's smile was razor sharp. You're entitled to nothing. Keep pushing, and you'll be entitled to subpoenas. The word landed like a thunderclap. My mother shifted, pale. My brother muttered, "This is absurd." Jonathan silenced him with a single, ice-cold look. I drew in a breath, the air itself bending toward me. For years I'd been their scapegoat, mocked, dismissed, shoved aside. Now every secret they buried surfaced in ink and signatures. Jonathan laid another document flat. This deed belonged to Claire's grandmother. Signed over illegally when she was 17. Fraudulent. Punishable by law. My mother gasped, whispering my brother's name. His face drained. And here, Jonathan said, flipping again, the trust fund for Claire's education. Every transaction traces back to you. His finger struck my father's name. The silence thickened. My father's lips pressed thin, fury trembling under his skin. He wanted to explode, to thunder me back into submission, but he couldn't. I found my voice, steady, quiet, unshakable. You told me I deserved pain, that my place was beneath you. But here's the truth. My place is above the lies you built your empire on. Beside me, the heart monitor quickened, keeping pace with the weight of my words. Jonathan leaned closer to my family, his tone final. Claire doesn't stand alone anymore. She has the law, the contract, and the truth. What do you have? Nothing but fear. For once, they had no retort, no cruel laughter, just the sound of their empire beginning to crack. And as I watched them squirm under the hospital's harsh light, I realized something chillingly beautiful. Revenge didn't always roar. Sometimes it whispered. My father finally snapped, his fist slamming the wall. You think papers will save you? We're your family, Claire. Without us, you're nothing. You'll always crawl back. The words were familiar, rehearsed from years of control. But this time they didn't pierce me. They bounced off, dull arrows against armor I hadn't known I'd built. Jonathan didn't flinch. Threats don't change signatures. You stole her future, and now you're terrified she's building one without you. My mother leaned in, her voice syrupy sweet. Claire, darling, don't let outsiders poison your mind. We only wanted what's best for you. I laughed, sharp, slicing through the room. Best for me? You shoved me down a staircase. You stood over my broken body and said I deserved it. Was that love too? Their silence was the only answer I needed. My brother stepped forward, jaw tight, menace dripping from his voice. You think one contract makes you powerful? I'll make sure you lose it all. I'll ruin your name before you even step outside. But Jonathan was ready. He pulled another file. My brother's debts, gambling slips, unpaid loans, threatening texts. He laid them down like cards. If you want to play ruin, we'll play ruin, but you'll lose faster. The color drained from my brother's face. His bravado cracked, leaving only the boy who'd always hidden behind our father's shadow. I straightened, pain burning through my ribs. My voice carried every scar they had carved into me. You've taken enough, my money, my trust, my safety. But you don't get to take my future. Not anymore. The room thickened, fear hanging like smoke. I saw it in their eyes. The power they had lorded over me was slipping, sliding into my hands. For the first time, they were the ones afraid to look at me. My father's face reddened, but his voice came out quieter, desperate. You wouldn't dare take us down. We're your blood. I tilted my head, studying him like a stranger. Blood doesn't excuse betrayal. It magnifies it. Jonathan opened another folder, neat rows of emails. Here's proof. Fraudulent transfers from Claire's signing deposit funneled offshore, before she even signed. Your names are all over it. Judges love paper trails. My mother gasped, hand flying to her mouth. My brother cursed, pacing like a trapped animal. I leaned forward, ignoring the stab of pain. You always said I was weak, that I couldn't survive without you. But look at you now, trembling, because the truth finally has teeth. My brother tried again, softer this time, almost pleading. Claire, you can't do this. We're family. Don't drag us into court. We'll fix it. We'll make it right. It almost sounded real, the apology I had begged for my whole life. But I caught the flicker in his eyes, the calculation, the lie waiting to strike. I smiled, cold, merciless. You taught me manipulation. Thanks for the lesson. But I'm better at it now. Jonathan placed the final envelope on the table. Photographs. My father in secret meetings. My brother exchanging cash in dark alleys. My mother signing papers she swore she'd never touched. The evidence towered higher than their excuses, and their faces collapsed beneath the weight of it. Their empire crumbled before it even touched a courtroom. I sank back into the pillows, exhaustion and triumph colliding in my chest. For once, I didn't need to raise my voice. The truth would scream for me. Revenge, I realized, wasn't chaos or fire. It was sharp, controlled, and devastatingly beautiful. My father finally broke. He lunged for the tray of files, desperation twisting him into something barely human. Jonathan was faster, pulling the stack away, the scrape of his chair against the floor echoing like a gavel. Final. Unarguable. You don't understand, my father roared, his voice cracking. If this goes to court, everything we built gone. The house, the business, the name. You'll destroy us all. I held his gaze, my voice cutting through the air like ice. You destroyed yourselves the day you decided I was expendable. My mother crumpled, sobbing, but even her tears felt empty. She reached for my hand, but I pulled away. Her warmth had always been conditional, there when I was useful, gone when I wasn't. Claire, please, if you love us. Love doesn't mean letting you bury me alive. I cut her off. Not anymore. My brother's jaw tightened, his fists curling. Fine. Drag us down. But no one will believe you over us. We'll make the world see you as bitter, greedy, ungrateful. Jonathan stayed calm. He slid a recorder from his pocket, pressed play. Their voices filled the room, mocking me, admitting theft, and my father's venomous line. You deserved it. Color drained from their faces. Their own words, undeniable, irreversible, hung in the sterile air. I leaned forward despite the ache in my ribs. For years, you told me I was powerless. But you gave me the weapon yourselves. Your arrogance carved your downfall. Silence fell, heavier than any blow. My father slumped back into his chair, defeated not by force, but by truth. My mother rocked quietly, clutching herself like a child. My brother stared at the floor, trembling, his mask stripped away. I breathed deeply, letting the moment settle. I wasn't the broken girl lying at the bottom of the stairs anymore. I was the woman standing over their ruin. And they knew it. The years pressed against the white walls, but for once they didn't suffocate me. They released me. My family sat shattered, their power dissolved, their pride reduced to dust. Jonathan closed the files, his tone even. Claire, it's done. By tomorrow, injunctions will be filed. Their accounts frozen, their deeds reversed. The law will do what love never did, protect you. I let his words sink in, each one a strike against wounds left to rot for too long. My father raised hollow eyes. Claire, please, don't do this. We're family. Blood is forever. I met his stare, steady and unshaken. You're right. Blood is forever. So are scars. My mother whimpered, clutching her rosary, whispering prayers far too late. My brother leaned forward, desperate now. Tell him to stop. Don't let this happen. You'll regret it. I shook my head. My voice didn't waver. No. The only regret would be letting you hurt me again. This isn't revenge. This is balance. Jonathan stood at my side, steady and silent, the very air shifting with finality. And in that stillness, I knew I didn't need their apology. I didn't need their approval. I only needed the truth inside myself. I exhaled, years of pain flowing out with my breath. My body still ached, but my spirit was free. I looked at them one last time, their empire collapsing not in fire, but in silence, in law, in truth. Goodbye, I whispered, the word tasting like freedom. And as Jonathan guided me out, the steady beeping of the monitor was the only sound left to mark the end of a war I had already won.